not guilty. Ace Magashule and Edwin Sori say it wasn't them. A heated argument leads to a driver deliberately driving over a victim. Veteran actor Don Nawa has died. And a landmark moment, a UK court rules that a trans woman should not be legally defined as a woman. Well, I'm Jane Dutton.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Pleaded not guilty to the charges he faces in the Asbestos trial against him. Magashule and his co-accused face charges of fraud and corruption linked to a 225 million rand Asbestos tender. Magashule insists that the trial is a combination of a smear campaign and a fishing expedition. Lawyers for controversial businessman Edwin Sori, who's also an accused in the matter, have challenged the admissibility of the evidence.
Today marked day 2 of the Asbestos criminal trial here at the Free State High Court, a trial that seemed like it would never begin. When the matter started this morning, the court dealt with a warrant of arrest that was issued for Michelle Mpambani. This is the wife of Ignatius Mpambani, one of the owners of a company that was part of the joint venture that was awarded the 255 million rand tender by the Free State Housing Department. Mpambani was not in court today, and her lawyers have submitted a sick note from a clinic. The court required further details on the sick note, including her condition. Once that was completed, all the accused continued to plead, with Ace Magashule, the former Premier of the Free State and former ANC Secretary General, pleading not guilty to all the charges against him. Next, the court had to deal with the legal representation of accused number 2, Matlakala Mahlomola. Yesterday, his lawyer told the court that the advocate who would be representing him was not available and could not come to court. Today, advocate Thabiso Mhlanga appeared on behalf of Matlakala, and he told the court that he needed more time to prepare for this matter, only having been instructed last week. But Judge Philip Laupsha has only given him 6 days to familiarize himself with the docket of over 50,000 pages. The matter is set to resume next Wednesday, with the trial continuing. Khomzo Modise, Eyewitness News at the Free State High Court.
Defending the appointment of Jonas as a special envoy to the US. That's after Jonas's 2020 utterance calling the President of the United States, Donald Trump, a homophobe and racist.
We don't believe that President Trump is a man that holds grudges. If that was the case, a number of his cabinet members will not be serving in his cabinet. Mr. Pozol will have not been nominated for ambassadorship to South Africa on behalf of the US. And so we believe that President Trump and members of his administration will have an appreciation that in politics, things do get said, but that doesn't mean that people are beholden to those positions. Equally, unkind remarks have been said about the African continent by President Trump, and there's no African leader that holds those comments against him. There's a sense that everybody wants to move forward positively and constructively in terms of the relationship with the United States.
Jonas says he hopes Washington will bury the hatchet over his controversial comments. The last time a South African diplomat made unsavory comments about Trump, he was abruptly expelled from the States.
Because, at the time, I was outside of government. At the time, I was speaking as an activist. But, people move on. I'm sure if you Google any politician has said something nasty about one other politician or the other, the challenge that we all face and the task at hand, it is to work on the relations between the two countries.
Legendary actor Don Mlangeni Nawa has been described as the father of the nation. In a statement today, the family confirmed the death of the 65-year-old actor. The veteran's contributions to the world of film in South Africa didn't just end with his renowned role as Bra Zeb Matabane in Isidingo, but extended to his latest roles in The River to Ishaka Ilembe before he died. His son on Soapy Isidingo, Tsepo Maseko, shares his memories of him.
We spoke about everything, about how to look after our money, how to invest, how to look after his craft, how we should never take drugs, craft very seriously, how we should try and humanize every single character.
Classes remain suspended and protests have been continuing at the Walter Sisulu University in the Eastern Cape. Students are angry at the fatal shooting of Sisonke Mbolekwa. Sisonke was allegedly shot by a residence manager during tensions at a campus residence. It's believed students attacked the manager and his family and torched his car yesterday. Sisonke's family arrived at the scene of his death today. The original dispute is believed to have stemmed from claims of poor living conditions at the residence.
They want to see where their child was killed. They want to see the university managers who allowed this to happen. They want to see the room that their child was staying in when he was studying here. So we are going to wait here for the family. They are on their way here. We will wait for them while singing songs of the revolution. We will wait for them with placards demanding justice for their son. Amandla! Amandla!
The daughter-in-law of the late anti-apartheid hero, Chief Albert Luthuli, says it's improbable he would not have heard a steam train heading towards him. Luthuli died in 1967 with the apartheid government saying he was hit by a train. The inquest into his death is currently being heard at the KwaZulu-Natal High Court in Pietermaritzburg.
So I take it that you would not agree with the newspaper reports that would describe him as half-blind.
I don't agree with the newspaper report because the train is so big. How could he not see something so big if he could read the font of the Bible?
President Cyril Ramaphosa has aired his frustrations over the poor state of affairs in the Eastern Cape in what could trigger a review in how the provincial government makes its budget allocations. Delivering his opening remarks at Cabinet's engagement with the province today, Ramaphosa says a lot of work still needs to be done to improve the quality of life for the province's residents.
We must be concerned at the sight of a number of our people who are forced to cross raging rivers in drums because there are no bridges, or sick patients lying on the floors of hospitals because there are no beds.
Gauteng police are searching for a bakkie driver who ran over a man in Sandton. A video that's been circulating online shows the man on the ground being run over multiple times, with onlookers trying to stop the driver. It's understood that there was an argument between the two men.
A case of murder is open for further investigations and no one has been arrested as yet. All the leads to trace the suspects are being followed up, and anyone who has information that can assist the police in locating the suspect is requested to contact the Crime Stop line at 08600 10 111.
To the Eastern Cape and KZN now, where bad weather has been hitting both provinces. Emergency services are standby as flooding takes place. This highlights the sector's recovery, with nearly 49% of international tourists visiting for the first time.
Domestic tourism is also doing well in the Western Cape, spending about 18.6 billion rand last year. Tourism creates jobs in the Western Cape, and we believe the B20 and G20 will create even more jobs in the Western Cape in 2025.
Britain's Supreme Court said the legal definition of a woman is based on a person's sex at birth. It's a landmark ruling with far-reaching implications for the bitter debate over trans rights. In a win for Scottish gender-critical campaigners who brought the case to the UK's highest court, 5 London judges unanimously ruled the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act 2010 refer to a biological woman and biological sex. The court added that the Act also protected transgender people against discrimination. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to download the news on the EWN app.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.